Hey everyone, I'm walking past the daycare on my corner. There's that temple on my corner. It has a community building and they have a huge daycare program. And there's literally three deep row of strollers that are parked outside. And several of my neighbors bring their kids there, so it's a very popular, good program. But yeah, it's Giving Tuesday. So you probably know my thoughts on this, but I thought I would share them again with you. I'm on my way to Brian's house to put insulation on the top of the hive and crossing 8th Avenue, which can be kind of a highway sometimes. It's a straight shot from about... Watch out for the stroller about to run me over here. That's my neighborhood. Where does 8th Avenue start? Maybe like Windsor Terrace or something? And it goes all the way to Flatbush Avenue, which is like 5 blocks from me. So, yeah, started out good. Came home last night from up at the little house. And today is one of the alternate site parking days on my block, Monday and Tuesday. So it's rather aggressive in this neighborhood with the double parking and the moving back and the waiting for the sweeper. But fortunately, I set the my phone to beep when the one of the chargers, nearby curbside chargers, was available. There's a company called Flow, F-L-O, that has the contract for the curbside charging pilot program here in New York, and I'm lucky to have 3 separate charging sites. The farthest one from me it's about 13 blocks, maybe. The other 2 are relatively close. But anyway, on the app, you can turn on a notification for if a charger becomes available at a particular location. And there's one 4, 5, 6 blocks from me down Prospect Park West, if you're familiar with that, along the park there. And, you know, it at 6 a.m., it was like a car just disconnected. So I hopped in my car and I drove a little faster than I usually do, because once that space is open, you know, everyone else that's waiting for that thing to open has probably set the same notification that I do. So, but it was open and I dropped the car in. I'm going to charge it to 100%. We do that quite often, actually, in the winter, because the cold weather just really sucks the life out of your battery. And we do stop to charge halfway up to the little house, but I just, you know, what if you get stuck in a long traffic jam? Because when you're crawling through traffic, you know, the battery is being drained because you're using heat to heat the car. That's kind of what happened when that whole debacle with the Teslas not working, you know, the Teslas that died in the winter in Chicago, you know, a few feet from the charging station. That nonsense. But anyway, so I've got the car plugged in. To charge it to 100% actually takes quite a while. These are the Class 2 chargers, which deliver, I think it's a shared, I think it's like 6 kilowatts, which is kind of equivalent to a garage, you know, the kind of 220 volt charger you would have in your garage, you know. But anyway, what's cool is that is parked and I don't have to move for the parking circus, which is even better. And so yeah, now I'm going over to just put some insulation on top of the hive. I made a video about putting in the sugar cakes or sugar blocks into the top of the hive, and then this is the final thing. This insulation sits above the inner cover and underneath the big metal cover, and it helps keep the cold from... I gotta go into the ATM here, hold on. One of the ATMs in here is making a really loud noise, like a fan noise or something. Another stroller to avoid. So yeah, so the car will be done this afternoon, and then it's a bit of a circus to park, but you're about 2:30 is the magic time, 2:30 to 4, because at 2:30 the schools start letting out, and I guess the teachers leave, or parents pull their car out to take their kids somewhere. I don't know, but all of a sudden, like 3 o'clock, I can get a parking spot. But between like 8 a.m. and 3 p.m., you're not going to get one. All right, crossing the street here. So yeah, so I'm going to put this insulation on top of the hive, which basically keeps the inner cover, which is right on top of the bees. I mean, the bees they bang right into it. We're going to keep that warm, and so we will hopefully prevent condensation from happening within the hive. So, because like warm air hits a cold surface, and then water droplets form, and you don't want water droplets in your hive. So with the sugar blocks, which also absorb moisture, and the insulation on top, and we should be good to go. We've had, since the climate crisis kicked in, the winters here are milder and milder. We did get a little sprinkling of snow, but I think knockwood will be okay. I did a mite treatment, oxalic acid dribble it's called. I did not do the vaporizer because I couldn't find it. And yeah, but I'll have a cup of tea with my friend Brian, and we'll just catch up. He is a documentary videographer, director of photography, really talented, and he's been traveling the country with a particular TV network, talking to people who are going to vote or maybe not vote, and I haven't seen him, so it's always interesting to catch up with him. And he's a great friend. He's one of those guys that checks in with you, unprompted. Hey, how you doing, Eric? Because he knows some days I kind of don't feel very well, so I really appreciate that. But yeah, so Giving Tuesday, I'm going by one of the big private schools here. They have their own security staff here. It's very interesting. Here, okay, the short answer on Giving Tuesday is as local as possible and cash. That's really works. You can give to larger organizations, and that's completely fine. Like the Red Cross needs money. The government doesn't give Red Cross any money. They raise it all. And there might be some websites or charity rating websites that say like, oh, the Red Cross has a huge overhead and very little of your money goes to actual boots on the ground helping people. But someone like the Red Cross, they have a huge staff, a huge infrastructure, so that they can respond very quickly to things. When there's a big fire in your neighborhood and then the Red Cross shows up with a couple trucks with coffee and food and helping people get housing, that's all being at the ready. Garbage truck. That's at the ready at the get-go, as opposed to perhaps a group of 5 people that is a nonprofit, and they have a very low overhead. Is the flip side of that. I also think that you also can give your time. A big one around here is like on Thanksgiving or Christmas, people want to go to the local soup kitchen, I guess it's called, for lack of a better word, a place that creates breakfast, lunch, perhaps even dinner for free for people. And they want to volunteer there, but everyone wants to do that on those holidays. So maybe sign up for a week in February, or a day or an evening. There's some companies that will give you paid time off to go do a charitable thing. I don't know. I don't really know the human resources term for that because I don't have that kind of job, and I don't think I do very well. I don't understand a lot of corporate America. There's just so many people. I'm like, what do they all do? Anyway, we're walking by the first apartment that the camera operator and I lived in. That's kind of neat. They have a blue door, I think. Yeah. That looks great. Anyway, but the cash is a big thing. Donating clothes, it's a mixed bag because, people take everything they have and throw it into a black plastic bag. It's not sorted. It might not be what people really need. From what I understand around here, that people deal with people that need things like that. They need socks and underwear, And I remember after Hurricane Sandy, which hit New York pretty bad, the various organizations were asking for stretch pants because stretch pants are multiple sized. It's not a 33 waist. It's a whatever waist because it has elastic in it. That kind of thing. Someone's working on a door there. It's always fun when people have power tools laying out in the front yard. And you think, why don't those disappear? Well, it's weird that it doesn't, but that's New York. So anyway, cash, local, volunteer your time. And of course, if you can, consider donating blood. Not everyone can do it. My sister faints if she gives blood, so the Red Cross was like, there's other ways to help. And I've seen a couple of times that when I've gone to blood donation, mobile blood, at a church or a community center, someone does get kind of dizzy and needs to lie down. The key is to hydrate, drink a bunch of water the 3 days before your appointment, and plan on a light day. Don't drink caffeine beforehand. Caffeine constricts your blood vessels, and that makes the phlebotomist job much harder. And then consider a light day after. Like I usually give in the morning because I just can't stand waiting around till 3 o'clock to have an appointment. I'm like, let's just get that out of the way. And I am tired afterward, but some people that I know just get up off the donation table and go back to work. I'm like, how do you do that? If you have a rare blood type, you can also do what's called double reds, where instead of donating 6 times a year, you donate 3, and they use a different machine where they take your blood out, separate out the red cells, and then put saline back in to your vein, and that helps a lot with the being really tired. And they can also take more red blood cells that way. I don't do that for a couple reasons, but basically my doctor said not to, because she's monitoring my blood cell count. A couple of things there. It's all good. So I'm almost at the subway. There's I don't know if you heard the fire truck there. They're going somewhere. There's a guy with a leaf blowers have come to New York. Instead of sweeping the sidewalk, they leaf blow the sidewalk. It's like stereo leaf blowers here. All right. I'm doing a Ask Eric Questions podcast. So if you have some questions, it's radio@gardenfork.tv. All right, go out and make it a great day, and I will see you soon. Garden Fork Radio is produced by Garden Fork Media LLC in Brooklyn, New York. The music in the show is licensed from audioblocks.com and uniquetracks.com.